I gotta say, first of all, I appreciate that whenever something goes wrong, we throw it over to Brigida.
Yes.
It's her fault, not our fault. I appreciate that. And number two, I feel like it's more on the mentality of the game, because game number 2, clearly they just played scared, and that's not how you should play against Team Spirit, where you saw that in game number 1, just fight when you have the chance, and it somehow worked out. You kind of have to go back to game number 1.
It's tough to, put it plainly, because that's exactly how it felt. It just felt like they were kind of in this state of, we're scared to move around the map.
Limbo.
They were in limbo. They couldn't really move, and it almost was that mentality of, what, we're so far behind, just go next. And so now it's their chance for Guangzhou Gaming to make this happen here. This is why I was making the point earlier, where it's like, you have to be able to bounce back from game to game, even not just from the days here, because after getting slapped like that in game 2, how do you bounce back in game 3? Well, we've already talked about what can potentially happen in the draft, and that's really where it starts. And you just got to have a better game plan here for Guangzhou Gaming if they want to move forward, because now the momentum is in favor of Team Spirit. And we've seen this before, where once they have momentum, they can usually take that just as quickly in game 3.
I'm only asking for one thing for Modi. Have a hero that can dive, something like a Yuzong, something like an Alice. That seems more his niche, right? Picking on something like a Bellary, I guess he can kind of do that, but he requires the flicker. So I just want him to use someone that can dive in. That's like his identity. Don't stray away from that.
Well, the Paquito actually taken out by GZG and the Cho as well. The Atlas also denied by Team Spirit, who will switch sides this game. And Expanding Rivers, one of our fastest map choices. I believe it is the second fastest. And one of the interesting things about this situation, which as a fan of MOBAs, every team comes in with a different plan and blueprint. But in game 1, game 2, both teams get a blueprint of what works for them. And so this draft is so exciting because both teams are trying to deny the blueprint of success for the other team while trying to get as many pieces of what worked in the games that they won for themselves. But it also opens up another layer, Naisu, which is, will somebody have prepared to surprise the other team again? Will they have more in their pockets that they'll bring out that might just change the narrative completely?
I think this MSC already has shown us how deep the pockets of the teams and the coaches, and in this instance for Coach Sunday and Coach Coldstar, they might dive into that. If not, then they just play their best game. I mean, this is something that a lot of people have been talking about online too, from previous teams that now have been knocked out. It's like, well, sometimes do you go for comfort? Do you go for those heroes or that style of play that's worked for you so long? Or are you forced to adapt in the current meta? And that's kind of what we've seen through the courses of this. So I think as you're seeing the bans, those are even different in this sense. So it's like the game plan is already going to change. This first blue pick will tell us where things want to go. Do they just grab the Eudora? Is there something better? The Hirara and the Ling still up for contention between them. It's going to be the Hirara for Guangzhou Gaming, at least now. So the trade that we expect, this Team Spirit just take that Eudora.
Eudora as well as the Bellaric. Something that we do have to put in context here, this is the decider match. Win, you make top 8. Lose, your keys get crushed. And I feel like that's going to be a difficult conversation between the players as well as the coach. They might have a hidden pick. And there's two different mentalities. Either like, if we don't show it, we'll never be able to use it. Or, it's like, it's just difficult whether you want to take that gamble or not. Yeah, you risk it.
Because the last draft, I would say, if you look at what Guangzhou Gaming was able to do, they looked uncomfortable on some of the picks.
Yeah,
it didn't work for them. So the answer right now for Team Spirit, go the Barretts, they pick it up, and the Eudora.
And I think this is actually good news for Guangzhou Gaming because it opens the Bellaric for them, which I feel they had their best performance on. And then the Barats also a good performance here, but was it so good because Guangzhou Gaming was not playing their game? And I feel like that might be something that enabled the Barats earlier on. It is a fast one.
Oof.
But there's the Uranus also, which is available at this point, which they hadn't seen. And the Lilia.
I'm slightly worried for this Lilia here.
Yeah, you're going to get comboed and instant black shoes.
And you're going up against a Fanny.
Yep.
I mean, let's talk about this. Lilia is very aggressive. She does a lot of damage because level 1, she already has her combo. But the problem is her HP is so low, and the burst coming in from Eudora as well as Fanny, they don't need any items to really take her out of the fight. Like, even if she doesn't die, she's going to be so low that she can't do anything. So that, personally for me, is a very risky pick. And now with the Fanny being present, I gotta say, Team Spirit opened up this draft very strong.
Yeah, not only that, but also just having this Uranus for Guangzhou Gaming. It's not like you can stop the Fanny from cabling through, you know, or deal with the Barretts, or obviously the lock-on stuns that come in with the Eudora. We've already seen it too. Eudora with one item is already scary to deal with. What more, 2, 3, you know, and you scale up like that for Team Spirit. And this is something that, again, the Lilia doesn't really solve. Yes, maybe you can go ahead and help clear some of the waves. You do a pretty good amount of early game damage too, but based off these first 3 picks for Guangzhou Gaming, you have to be able to go ahead and scale up quickly for them, because the Fanny can almost match that. And if not, if the Fanny's delayed, we've all seen Fannies just result to what we usually see with Mozgovs. Go somewhere else across the map, push that, put map pressure there. And my goodness, Game 2 showed us that if map pressure is a problem for Guangzhou Gaming, they seem to not know how to solve that.
It's also kind of a cool indication of where the hero comfort is, because we're seeing some picks we're not familiar with. It's possible it's a region difference. It could be a player difference. Marcel, one of the only games he's left open and not banned and not picked. Both junglers already picked on both sides, so we won't see him.
Yeah,
which is like a surprise. He's got a 100% win rate.
Yeah, honestly, I even forgot about the Marcel. But yeah, Team Spirit can pick it up after this.
Yeah.
But honestly, gentlemen, looking at both teams' drafts, the best way to say it, and literally, go big or go home.
Yeah.
Because these are the drafts that you can win it super, super early, and now the Marcel gets picked up.
Good call.
I gotta say, Team Spirit, they can honestly like get the inhibitors by 11 minutes.
Yeah.
So where's that going?
Marcel?
Yeah.
He's going Rome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, going Rome. There's I don't think we've seen him flex anywhere else, but you know, he's the most, I would say, the most annoying to deal with.
Golden Road, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like a mosquito, man, and it's tough to deal with. Matilda and Brody, though, so I don't know, man. Looking at this Guangzhou Gaming draft,
go big or go home. Win all the lanes, push it, and try to end it by 12.
Does the Matilda help solve the macro problem, though?
I think it helps either the Uranus or Herard. They're gonna go in so deep, and then that's gonna be your backup option. But I don't know, like, really for Guangzhou, it looks like all gas, no brakes.
I mean, are these not some of the 4 most prioritized picks in the entire tournament so far on the side of Team Spirit?
So far, and then a Granger to cap it all off to go in the hands of Hiko here. So playing range for range in the gold lane, but a lot of mobility for both lineups here across the map. And, you know, we've seen it before, though. Marcel's golden hour can either work for you or against you.
I gotta say, both teams want to go fast. Both teams put a lot of risk in this kind of draft. So this is one of those games.
What do we think?
It's all about mechanics, man.
Mechanics. I got to go with Team Spirit here,
Team Spirit, you like the draft. Marcel available, 100% win rate. You with Team Spirit as well?
I love Marcel. I got to go with Spirit as well.
Literally.
So Guangzhou will probably win it.
100% pick ban, 100% win rate. Guangzhou Gaming let Marcel through to Team Spirit. Do they know something we don't? Because if they win, they're in the knockout stage for the first time in China's history in Mobile Legends Bang Bang. If not, it is Team Spirit gatekeeping once again. Let's send it back to your casters, Mirko and Brigitte, for our final game of Series 1.
Go big or go home, as mentioned here by our studio, is the game plan and is what is reflected based on this Game 3 draft from both sides. Both are favoring Team Spirit though. Mirko, would you say that you're also on the same page?
Honestly, if you look at the draft, if you look at the prio, it makes a lot of sense. You know, the Granger for the strong side as well, that outrange against the Brody. The Fanny on the hands of Tower Egoist as well. But Guangzhou Gaming, this time around, it really feels like they're just trying to capitalize on the mistakes of Team Spirit. And it doesn't look bad. The Uranus against the Barretts picked up, I think, way too early as well. It did well in the previous game, but I guess we'll just find out here as Guangzhou Gaming will have mid-prio for the most part with this Lilia.
Okay, hold on. Saw?
So the cables forces out the revitalize.
Yeah.
All good.
So, we did say it's looking like Guangzhou kind of capitalizing on Spirit and the draft, trying to react to it a bit more, but we're hopefully just seeing that in terms of the draft, because I don't think it'll pay off to be as passive when it comes to the game, and you're seeing it even in the gold lane matchup. Both gold laners so upfront and aggressive in terms of the laning.
Yep. But it is Hiko who has to burn the Flicker first, so that's a massive advantage for Guangzhou Gaming as they look to dive past this front to back that Team Spirit wanted to play with. Recall with the rotation up top already, waiting in that bush. And Guangzhou Gaming have set up a brilliant freeze. Hiko's gonna be forced to lose out on a few minions here.
Wow.
Or maybe even die, right? Like, he has no flicker, he can't just walk up.
And that's two of the marksmen with maybe or probably the longest range to just going at it. And so we leave them for now as we take a look at how this first hurdle is going to pan out. You see Guangzhou taking a hold of it, Recall starting it off, but there's still Sao, there's still a threat of a Marcel, but there is no golden hour just yet. So I feel like Guangzhou are still somewhat trying to take control over this.
And again, the disadvantage of the Fanny with now purple buff. Look at the zone coming down, red tree battle. It's going to be won out by Sour still, despite no purple. Recall going to fall to first blood as well. Sour pops in to revitalize to keep everybody healthy. Spirit with a massive win. Thunder's Wrath in the mid lane, just one more splash of damage. Sunset picking up yet another 3-0 and the neutral objective.
So unfortunate for Guangzhou. They wanted to start that out. It was Recall trying to actually get some damage in for the objective, but looking at where Recall decided to position himself to, the fact that it was both Kid Bomba and Zara Egoist just locking down onto this jungler and making sure that there was no other way he could go in for the contest on the objective was what granted Team Spirit that win. You have to pay attention to the zone as welcome. You have to pay attention to where you actually position yourself, because if you're somewhere anywhere near walls, Zara Egoist is just gonna have the time of his life.
And if you see that replay, man, Modi, he did all that he could to stop Bomba from getting the chomp down on towards Recall, but Bomba flickered past Modi.
Yeah.
My God. Beautifully done by Bomba to secure that neutral objective. That's how Zaur was able to just walk up, get the retreat for free. Recall not caught on the bad spot, able to go for it. Golden Hour catches them all in place, and Hiko is going to build on the Rhapsody. Another pick off up top, and it is against Sai on the Brody.
And this is how you like to see the Eudora being played. Now that they're ahead, now that they are actually being the more aggressive combo. And it's also probably because of Sao, just the way Sao moves around the map, which doesn't make things any less or any more difficult for Sunset Lover to just also go in with the flickers, because you are fully aware of where to anticipate Guangzhou Gaming too. So that was a flicker play you got to see from Sunset Lover. That was a burst landed onto the right target. And this is going to be a problem for Guangzhou, because you see a lot of, I think, targets for Sunset Lover in this draft, honestly. You could consider so much people to just use your burst damage onto. Oh, if that cable actually landed. Okay, they're gonna get out of this, but does Kid Bomba has a flicker.
Even the chomp to get away. Made with a circling Eagle Bomba. Oh, that's a very sad. Dino Revitalize. Oh my God, saves him. There's no damage from Guangzhou Gaming. Even after all that, a good stun coming out on Modi as TS are able to clear out the wave in the bottom lane. Sour, no purple buff, Recall on the neutral objective, and this time Kid Bomba does not have that chomp.
Oh, revitalized this time from Guangzhou too. Golden R!
Great delay. Now the red tree. Sour try to steal, but Recall stays patient on the red tree. Waits for Zaur to show it, and now it's Guangzhou on the board on the neutral objectives.
Okay, at least if they weren't able to get anything down that engage in the bottom lane, they were able to convert it into something. The fact that they at least had to send one member of Spirit back and they weren't really prepared to take on that objective was already a win in itself for Guangzhou. Kid Bomba, did you get anything from that?
Got the Purify out of Xing, but that's about it now as the Torn Apart memory comes around, but the double flicker goes for Sunset and Hiko to get away. The Dinosaur won't have a good time there. Gun down, taken out. Modi doing a good job again, gaining this map control and giving the space for Sai to pick up a turret.
I guess that maxed out time on the channeling maybe allowed for a bit more room for Guangzhou to really set up for that fight, which they aren't really taking advantage of this time, eh? Even gets bursted down, but they're just really looking to steal away this orange objective. There's a conceal from TS though.
Yeah, they get the frozen moments on a few members, but no battle spell is worn. Guangzhou Gaming just playing it safe. Oh, Zaur with the cutthroat. Nexiang has black shoes, doesn't even need it though.
Wait, Sai? Okay. It seems like he's trying to hold this bush for a while. No one really passes through from TS though, but just like that, Guangzhou have regained control of the map in some ways. It's still a mirror trade for that tier 1 up top and down bottom, but since the next objective is spawning here, Guangzhou, they probably are looking to take advantage of this. And the fact that Kid Bomba, yes, has been doing a really good job on the Barret so far, but so long as they get there first, you could expect it to be pretty slow for the XP laner here of TS.
And this is why I had my concerns, you know, even in the early game, even though Guangzhou Gaming technically only have one resource to deal with the Fanny, that skill 2 of Psy, it's still very troublesome because for Team Spirit, they're going to have to outplay Guangzhou Gaming around these neutral objectives, around these team fights as well.
Okay.
While Modi can just stand in front of Bomba to take those deaths as welcome. The Golden Hour placed down as well. Oh, Recall trying to go for it. He's going to be able to get away right now as the Chomp comes around, and that's going to be Sai who gets locked down, but he's able to flicker out the safety of Sour. Goes over the cutthroat. Can't find it. Good stun over Spirit with the neutral objective. Take Recall walking up now with the mobilization on Sunset. Just one more shot should get him down. Recall with a jumping forward finds the kill. Immobilization on Sour, but he's able to escape as Bomb appeals for him. Sour in the mid lane now on Recall. Untargetable. Hiko with the dash in forward. That was actually a flicker. Burns it away. Good eye phrase by Recall. Xing thrown again, but he has the black shoes. Sour low. CY won't be able to go for the kill.
The Revitalize from both sides just made that team fight much longer than we expected it to be, but who won it out and who were still able to commit and prolong things even after the Revitalizers went down were still Guangzhou Gaming. They have such low dom times, but Recall!
Uh-oh, gets away for a bit, but Sao was just waiting there. Together with Sour Ego is the free kill up top. Chomp down, Purify out from Modi. Turret 4 sign, a bottom lane on the Brody as Sour is able to go on the tier 2 up top, and this will be a win for TS. This is a very good trade on the board for them.
Yeah, even though they lost mid though, but the purple, I think that changes things a bit.
It's okay. He'll be able to steal the purple buff on the other side of the map, and Modi has no Purify, still goes up. Has the guiding wind to get him out, but the purple buff, again, not even stolen by Guangzhou Gaming. Still a massive win for Spirit.
Yeah, they just swapped purple buffs basically at this point, but Guangzhou, again, despite them getting a couple more tier 1s, even in mid, TS though, they still have the 4K lead and they're looking to take that one turret in mid as well if only they find an opening, but they're going to respect Guangzhou. They're literally around these members though, and they will be first to prio and position themselves in this upcoming Lord.
This is really not looking good for Guangzhou Gaming. Their jungler is so behind, and their idea right now is to get the orange buff over the side. Recall's 2 levels down. How can he win the red tree now? Sour just needs to go for the red tree, gets it in time. With a 2-level lead, it's almost guaranteed. Recall with the walk up on Sunset. But TS get away.
Yep, as much as Guangzhou, I think, wanted to do something there and at least get a trade, Sao was just too eager to stop them in their tracks. This is a Marcel who has been very proactive in terms of the gameplay. Okay, he's gonna spot Recall there too, but at the same time, you can just rely on him to really block off Guangzhou Gaming in case they want to go for the chase, just because of the fact that you probably are not expecting as much burst from Guangzhou just yet. Oh, that's a flicker though.
Uh-oh, great golden hour. Catches me. Oh my god! He still flies by and Hiko punishes him. Now it's out with the cables. A chomp down with a Purify already baited out. Sai gets pulled back by the missiles of Bomba. Pops into it in nature, but this does have no damage to deal with these tanks up front.
That's the difference. You see TS, they have Sunset Lover, they have Hiko, such reliable sources to just burst down one of the front lines, quote-unquote, here for Guangzhou, because it's always Mei who pushes forward and has to push forward, but it's TS this time with a siege.
Modi's low, still able to get away, has the consecration, pops it here, the retribution from Recall. And a good clear with the Lilia as well against Team Spirit Siege.
Oh. They're gonna lose out on so much though. That's a tier 2 down bot and in mid, falling into the hands of Spirit. At least Mei is back right now, but these synced up waves are really becoming a problem. Now it's TS with a 6K lead. Initially it was just 3 to 4K, but now even take a look at the items. But before that, Zor!
Oh no, gets stunned up, torn apart memory. Not enough to take him down, very close though. Not enough Sky Piercer stacks just yet. And it's because of the Dreadnought armor that Sour got that saved him.
Yep. Okay, that's a flask too for Sao. Guardian already picked up by Kid Bomba here on the Barats. So you could expect them to just really stay for much longer. And they're going to be very calculated about this. They fully respect, we all know for a fact Guangzhou have pretty much reliable wave clear. That's a Brody, Lilia you're already looking at. On top of the fact that Modi can just be the one to put himself up front. And TS are just looking to wait for this next, but do they actually wait? Zar, he's positioned here really, really well. Catches recall. The iframes are gonna be there, fortunately, though.
Yep. Not much he can do, you know? I mean, you need to be very instant with the burst, very hard to catch the Hirara. Just with one dude. That's why usually it's the Eudora that gets her, gets the stun. Everybody can just follow it through.
Zar, the way he's been positioning himself.
Yeah, very aggressive.
You know they want something before this next objective.
It's all up to CY right now to be the guy to carry Guangzhou Gaming, right? Like, he has the way to stop the Fanny. The only way, as of right now, they got a full peel for Sai.
Ooh. The waves. It's just really Zar holding onto this position.
It's kind of crazy.
Guangzhou have no idea he's there.
It's a very small dino. No big guy stacks on Bomba.
Still looking for those stacks. Now they spot out where Guangzhou are. They fully reveal the information, and Zar, he's just waiting. Sao reveals just much more info.
Oh man, great golden hour, catches Sai. Oh, Modi gets bursted down, straight up. The consecration already baited earlier. Now Exing can't even use the black shoes. Gets cut-throated down to the ground as Recall goes into the bottom lane. And Spirit don't even want to go for the Lord. They want to go for top 8. They want to qualify to the knockout stage.
What a play from Spirit. Could this be it? Recall goes in. Oh no, but he gets bursted.
A big chomp down right now. Spits it, not a stun for Hiko to pick up the kills. He flickers in. Sai, very low. That's a win of nature as well. TS, now they say it's enough. We're gonna go for the Lord, guaranteed.
Yep, Moni's back. Xing will be back too. There will be much more reliable wave clear for Guangzhou, and TS are gonna play it safe. But that was such a great plan coming in from TS. They knew they had enough burst, so if they had to deal with a target from Guangzhou one at a time, they had enough damage to do so. Now Sunset Lover even picking the Divine Glaive will make things all the more difficult for Guangzhou, for them to go up against Spirit in this scenario. As we take a look at that, yep, it is going to be the Divine Glaive, the Lightning Truncheon as well. So you have to be very careful. Even Modi earlier on, you saw how they were able to deal with him only with the Oracle as his somewhat of a defense item for magic damage. Now there's really starting to play the kind of game we're expecting from Spirit. They have a Lord marching up top, but it's Zar. Again, possibly looking for an entry from the opposite side.
So for Guangzhou, it's all about how they react to this. It's not the Evolve Lord just yet. They actually still have a shot at defending this with a Lilia. But it gets very difficult knowing there's an 8.7k gold lead and a few stacks already on Hiko. Modi caught in the Thunder's Wrath. Black Shoes used very early on. Lord up top, gonna be able to take the turret down already, as that's gonna be Spirit with a priority on the bot side as well. Both side lane base turrets have fallen.
Such a great tool to create space. Golden R laid down perfectly just so Spirit get that base turret. So now they're looking to take out even this last one in mid. The damage from Hiko too is already no joke. Sao catches one.
Bomba's just trying to zone right there, and he does well. Circling Eagle, now the retaliation on Bomba. He doesn't have the flicker. Torn apart memory takes him down, and Sauer is able to cable out of there. 1 for 3. 1 kill for 3 base turrets. Spirit will take that any day of the week.
Yep, 15 minutes in, they finally exposed the base here for Guangzhou Gaming. Though they do show some signs of life, it takes a bit of time before they actually go in. They need to ensure that there is actually a target that will easily be within reach, but they're really pushing forward this time though. Guangzhou want to somehow equalize the map as we're taking a look at it right now. But you gotta pay attention to Zar and how they protect Sai.
That's for sure. Double Sky Piercer? Wait, Tower. Oh my god, brother. You're playing with fire, bro. Just dashes into a Brody, Mathilda, and Hirara. What do you think about this double Sky Piercer? They're going up against... Hey, they steal the purple, but they don't go to their own purple, man. Bus.
Okay, at this point, the kills are pretty much spread between Recall and Sai, yes, but...
Well, what's the point of stealing the purple if you're going to leave the purple for TS?
Yeah. They were... TS are just too quick.
You gotta explain this to me, Brig. Or maybe the panel needs to explain this to me.
The panel will have the telestrator to do that for
Some of
us.
these games, I feel like I need to be streaming, man.
Rain Day will have the telestrator to do that for us.
Yeah. Okay, please.
Now they will not have that.
LaFell, please, telestrator on that moment.
Yep,
Yes.
Yep,
No.
yes, you can highlight that. Okay, so we have a Lord now. It is still going to be Zara on the opposite side dealing with the waves first. And TS, I don't think they'll have as much problems with this. They have to still pay attention to the burst. Sawo with the conceal.
With the waves, though, Zaur can just end the game. If Guangzhou Gaming want to take this fight, and now they're going to have to fight 4v5. Recall, oh, he goes in. Gets the untargetable golden hour, isolates him for the rest of the team. Hiko! Flicker in, a shot to the face, and that was Modi. All alone, circling Eagle used to get away. Modi dodging away from the bullets. Call him Neo the way he's dodging from those shots. Sign the bush, torn apart memory! Maybe if they didn't get double Sky Pierce, nah, actually it doesn't even matter.
So close, Sunset Lover. At least they got the flicker down, but that's about it. They've only gotten battle spells out from TS. I feel like Hiko even uses aggressively. And now with the Lord and an exposed base, Guangzhou Gaming, they only have so much to rely on. Xing and Sai will have to go for the defense of their lives. And Kid Bomba has a flicker too. Who knows if he actually finds another surprise Daytona's welcome.
At this point, Spirit's gotta drop the ball for them to lose this game. Guangzhou Gaming, they have the clear. But it's going to be delayed by Spirit. Sawa with a golden hour onto the Lord right now as the waves come crashing down. Modi gets away with the guiding wind. That's instant cutthroat on Xing. Again, not given the time to use the black shoes. A big chop down coming in, and Bomba spits him out, gets a two-man stun. The rest of the team capitalizing. He goes unstoppable, and Team Spirit confirmed their slot in the knockout stage.
It's a reverse sweep to get into top 8. Team Spirit make it through and get past that lower bracket after falling to Vamos earlier this week. And Guangzhou Gaming will unfortunately have to end their journey here, but what a fight did they show us here up against Spirit. It was so close for them to make history once more. With the experience, you just see Team Spirit eventually coming out on top.
It's just so sad to see after that great game one for Guangzhou Gaming. Even our panel, well, one of our panelists, Mr. LaFell, said it's that Nihao energy because they're always the ones kind of like walking up and saying, yo, hello. But here it was more Daichen energy. Rose goodbye. Like, I mean, they were just chilling, reacting, going in randomly. Double Sky Pierce.
Yeah, because if you look at the post-item or post-game stats, which our studio will also talk about later, it is confirmed they stuck with the double Sky Piercer up until the very end, but we saw it with 2 kills, 1 kill each. It stayed the same, and now we have to talk to our winners. Another team making it into the knockouts as we throw it over to the stage.
Thank you very much, my friends. It is done and dusted. Team Spirit move on to the knockout stage. A huge moment here. And Sunset Lover joining me on the interview, of course, with our translator, Asal. A few questions to ask. First of all, game one, what do you feel happened there that the game slipped away from your fingers?
Расскажите, пожалуйста, вот первая игра, как вы считаете, почему буквально утекла она у вас из рук?
Мне... Can I just say in English? Okay. In the first game, I think that was a draft diff, you know, because we have only the start draft. We won the start and we troll a bit in some fights. And then their pick was much better because our main character, like Brody, cannot play the fight normally because of Grok and because of Alice. And I think it was hard game because of that.
So that's in game one. Of course, you brought it back in 2 and 3. Do you feel like you were able to lock in? You were talking about, there's a bit of trolling in game one. Did you just lock in going into 2 and 3 to close it?
Sure. We do our best on the game 2. We also won the start. Our draft was much better, you know, and we was so confident in that draft, so we just stomped them.
And how are you able to choose things together? Is this with your coach also who's kind of helping you out, making sure that you have the proper draft for every game as a reaction?
What's again?
Is it mostly all you together that are selecting what sort of draft you're going with, or is it more your coach that also is feeding in info for it, countering what your opponents have?
The main drafter is Kid Bomba, and coach and Savo also helping him a lot, and all of us can just a little bit help with our roles, you know, like Kid Bomba asking me, for example, Sunset, what do you think about this match and that draft, and etc.
Very good. Then you've been to a bunch of tournaments at this point internationally. It's been a while that you've seen all of this stage experience. How do you feel this MSC is different than previous MSCs and M series that you've been part of?
First of all, it's not in Asia, you know. The weather outside is like so different. It's the first time when tournament in Europe. Here's a lot of difference, like the food, the weather, the I don't know, atmosphere, and also I like the tournament. I like the atmosphere here, and finally we did it to the playoffs. So I'm excited.
Honestly, it's not your first time, obviously, at knockouts either. There's been a lot of surprises that have happened here, results-wise. Do you feel that you're expecting all of these upsets that we were seeing? You know, Team Liquid being eliminated, also being a big part of them, or through scrims you were kind of expecting crazy things to happen?
We didn't expect that Team Liquid will just lose to everyone, but we can understood that it's not Team Liquid meta, you know, there is Assassins most of all, and Carl Tizzy is more tank jungler, so I thought Team Liquid will be like top 4 maximum, you know, but it was so unexpected that they lost. There is also so unexpected that Aurora will stomp all of them, stomp all of the teams for the first match, you know, and they looks like the favorites, you know, of the tournament. So we'll see what will happen next.
This is the beauty of MSC. You never know what you get out of it. One more time then, Team Spirit victorious. Thank you very much, Sunset Lover, for joining me. We'll bring out the rest of the team because, as we said at the start of today, it's all about crushing keys. You guys move on to knockouts, and I will ask you to join me over here. Spasiba, my friends. Come on over. Come on over. We're going to open up our wall for the first time of today. 4 matches, 4 eliminations, and 4 players or 4 teams advancing. Join us in here. It's time to crush Guangzhou Gaming's key. Does any one of you want to do it? Zarigo, is you ready?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. All yours. It only makes sense that quite possibly one of the best junglers MLBB has ever seen is ready to go. And he'll be the one to crush Guangzhou Gaming's hopes. Keep it going, my friend. I know he's so used to putting pedal on the metal in the game, and here it all goes down. Team Secret to the knockout stage. Going hard in the paint no matter the moment. And this is what happens when you get eliminated from MSC at the Esports World Cup. You get smashed to bits. And that's the lesson to be learned. Team Spirit advanced. And there's a lot to break down. I know telestrations are set and ready for this one. So please, my friends on the panel, all yours.
Well, the hope of China crushed in that moment, metaphorically, and also in this set, the gatekeepers of Team Spirit do it yet again and gatekeep another region trying to make it to the knockout stage for the first time while Spirit go through. But it was so much more than that. It was a tactical masterclass. It was also a showcase of the young talent, Zauer Egoist, Sunset Lovers, comfort in mid with the Eudora 3 times in a row, Naisu. There were so many things that went right for Team Spirit that, yes, GZG disappointed, but it's really what Team Spirit brought to the table, showing that they proved to be in that knockout stage.
I like hearing that from Sunset Lover too, you know, that when it comes to the draft, Kid Bomba's the one really helping them kind of make those decisions. And it's one of those cases where it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Eudora 3 games in a row. We saw Kid Bomba play the Barretts a couple times now too. And the game plan for them was really standard. I mean, even yes, Zara Egoist to pick up a Fanny like this. Mind you, he got a couple kills plus the first turtle without even the purple buff. So there was just really good execution from a team like this for Team Spirit. This is something, again, that we expected. I would have been surprised still, though, if it was Guangzhou Gaming to send them out of the tournament. But you saw the key crush there, man. That felt like there was intention.
That was brutal.
That was a brutal key crush.
Yeah.
I mean, like, speaking of brutal, this is basically reliving the nightmare for Guangzhou, because this is basically the same situation where they're 1 game away and they got match point.
Yeah.
And then got reverse swept. So this is 2 times now where they almost went to top 8 and then get reverse swept like that.
Well, one of the interesting parts about these 2 regions coming up is you get to see these different styles. And he mentioned Aurora Gaming, which suddenly became the favorites after their performance of constant wins and constant meta shifts. One of the things they pioneered is the Eudora. That was given 3 times over to Sunset Lover. You would probably not see that in a matchup with Team Spirit and Aurora Gaming given to anybody 3 times in a row, if they could help it. And of course, that was just one of the many things that showed up in these drafts. Nice.
Also, you called it, Rain Day, the Marcel. You know, the Marcel, you mentioned that in the draft, and I think that was also really a good decision to go ahead and bring it up, just because, again, you were able to go ahead and obviously use his snapshot that's built in that kit. The golden hours that we usually saw from Saul were pretty on point too, whether that was to kind of zone out the members of Guangzhou Gaming or even to stall out, like the Lord pushing himself. You know, you can kind of hold in there, but then you can line things up. We saw that with the stun with the Eudora, the Rhapsody shots with the Granger in the hands of Hiko. There were so many ways for them to kind of choose the way they wanted to approach a team fight, and that's what Marcel kind of lets you do. Plus, just kind of having that sustainability with the Revitalize that he built in is another way that this composition from Team Spirit worked really well. So alongside Coach Coldstar and then, of course, Kid Bomba, great draft.
But also, we got to say that Guangzhou Gaming, unfortunately, that draft has a lot of exploitable holes there, right? Having the Lilia is pretty strong early game, but as we said, basically three heroes have a lot of bursts that made it so that the Lilia cannot be a part of the game. So that's already making it into a 4v5. And without your mid helping out, both your EXP as well as your roamers can't really stay in front for a long time because there's no damage threat to the people that's threatening the front line. So I think that they